You
Hello, is this Mr. Lordi?
yes, it is.
Hello, this is Dimitris from Metal KAOZ in Chicago. How are you, sir?
I am pretty good.
Is everything great at the Lordi Castle?
Lordi Castle. Yeah. All is well. Yeah, the dungeons are wet and moist and cold as they should be, and chains are rattling, and bats are sleeping. Bats are sleeping in the tower. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. That's the only thing I want to know. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, that was easy.
Okay, let's start right away. Let's get serious, right? How did you decide to move to Atomic Fire?
They asked. It's like in the movies. They would say you could say that they made us they made us an offer that we couldn't refuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really, but pretty much like I mean, we had nothing against the FM, and we had a lot of good times, and they were very supportive the whole time. But I mean, Atomic Fire, they just approached to us or our management, and so that's why. I mean, they just gave us such a good deal that we would have been idiots not to take that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's business.
Oh, of course it is. Of course. So, the band has a new guitarist, right?
We do. Yes. Well, now he's been in the band for 1 year and 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
So,
fairly new. Fairly new.
Is it K1 or Kone?
It's Kone. Kone.
Kone.
It's a Finnish, like most of the Lordi names are actually Finnish, and Kone, Kone, means machine in Finnish. So so he's like a cyborg, or So it is, but in different languages and different countries, people always pronounce our names, the way that they would pronounce their own,
Correct.
But it's like all the Finnish names or the words that we're using as our band members' names are Finnish, and and we are pronouncing them in Finnish, of course, but there's a lot of freedom, so so everyone's free to pronounce them any way they want.
And honestly, the Finnish pronunciation works better with my Greek, so I get what you're saying.
yeah, there you go.
So, first of all, what does he bring music-wise to Lordi?
Oh, he does bring a lot of fucking technicality and professionalism, for sure. I mean, with all due respect to my old, brother-in-arms, Eamon, who was with me for 25 years since 1997. Not sure if you're a Kiss fan like I am, but like a Kiss comparison is always in place, and now more than ever, because like Eamon, our first original guitar player, was like Ace Frehley of Lordi, and now we have jumped directly to Bruce Kulick.
Interesting.
So it's always because it's I mean those guys playing wise and musically are completely from different planets. I mean Kone is such a technical, skilled player, like very professional and enthusiastic player and a musician, and very talented. I could easily say that he's probably the best musician that we have ever had in the band.
Wow.
And we have had 16 people, so he's very good in what he's doing. He's very good with guitar. Let me put it this way. Yeah.
Was he
involved? Of course, I mean he's playing on this album. It was really easy to record. A lot of cool ideas, and there's not a single thing that you would ask from him to do, and that he couldn't pull it off. Yeah. So that's really cool and fresh for me and for the rest of the band. Yeah.
So this means that Kone was involved in the making of Screem Writers Guild,
yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, it was the first thing. A year ago, I started writing this album in January 22, and then in February I fired Eamon in the end of February, And then the next day I called Kone, and the next day after that he was already in the band. And the first thing he did in Lordi was that we recorded this album. We recorded this album a year ago in the springtime before the summer festival started, and it wasn't like right shortly before the summer festival, before June. I mean, I think it was in May. We announced that Eamon is no longer a member of Lordi. Then we waited a few weeks, and then we announced that we have a new guitar player, Kone. But we have already recorded the new album together at that time. And by the time we went to the festivals and the people could see our new lineup and new guitar player and we already done this album that we're just about to release now, 1 year later. Yeah.
And what about his character? Did you have any discussion with him? Okay, I'm thinking of this cyborg. Okay.
No, nowadays I don't do the mistake that I did in the past, like 20 years ago, when I just decided that I want to have this and that kind of a character in the band. And whoever musician comes in and says, okay, you're going to be like that. Because it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that. There are examples of this, like really like sad examples actually, that I have a musician, I have a bandmate, and then I dress him or her up, and he or she is not able to portray the character at all because it's so far away from their own personality.
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, and this happened already 15 years ago or something, that I started realizing that I need to ask the person that how is he in real life, how is he acting, and what kind of monster would he or she want to be,
right.
So and only that way you can assure that the character will be something that because if you're in Lordi and you're gonna get yourself a character, you have to be the biggest fan of your own character. So you have to be the biggest fan of your own character yourself. Yes. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You cannot really, be that character if you don't like it. If you like some other if you like your bandmate's character more than your own. So it has to be like that. So absolutely. I mean, and I asked Connor when he joined the band, I asked, okay, what kind of monsters do you like? Either visually or thematically. And he gave me few examples that he likes. Iron Maiden's Eddie was one. I think the first one. He said that he loves Eddie. He's a big Iron Maiden fan. He loves Eddie. Okay, sure. Okay, so you can see a little bit of Eddie influences there because, and then also he likes Star Wars characters like Darth Vader and Stormtroopers. He likes the slim, like plasticky armor kind of guys, and he likes cyborgs. And then I showed him, he wasn't aware of Star Trek Borgs, I showed him those, and then I wanted to add a little bit of the Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Bat Monster version of Dracula, and so I wanted to add a little bit of that there. So it's a combo like that. But now, of course, it's already his second. I mean, he's been in the band a little bit over a year, and it's already his second costume already. So yeah. So it's a good update now.
But still, for the new album, you turned every character into a universal monster, at least sort of, right?
Sort of. Like in the front cover, yes. In reality, not so much.
Okay.
Because the front cover I had to paint already last June when we didn't have the new costumes yet. The new costumes were done. I started doing them New Year's Eve, and they were just finished like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we had the photo session and the video shoot. So I mean, I think we just released the new pictures and the new costumes last week, I guess. I'm not on social media myself, but also I wouldn't. I don't know what's going on there. But I mean, we should have released those new pictures of the look. So I forgot your question already.
No, I was talking about the cover artwork that you have. Everyone looking like a universal monster.
Yeah. So I did use some because last year. I had no idea what I'm going to do. I mean, usually it's the stupidest thing that if you start painting a picture of the band that doesn't exist yet, It's really, but I had no choice. I mean, I had to come up with something. I had to paint the album because the album was going to go to print. And we had a really full festival summer, and we had a full tour in the fall. We had tour for 10 weeks or 11 weeks last fall, and we really didn't have time to do the new costumes then. So we always, had to do it like right before the release now. So, but I mean, there are some bits and pieces of the Universal. I mean, I have a little bit of Frankenstein on my new mask, and I think Mana is the closest to what you see in the cover and what you see in real life. I mean, he's like inspired by Dracula. He's like Count Manacula now, or whatever you call it. And Hela, of course, is like a version of Vampira, Elvira, Bride of Frankenstein, something like that along those lines, and a little bit of Wednesday from the Addams Family too, and stuff like that. But Kone, he is not a werewolf like he is in the cover, and I already knew that I'm not going to do that. So he's not a hairy cyborg any. Now he's himself, So he really doesn't have that Universal Monsters aspect to him at all.
Yeah.
And he's, of course, he's like a crocodile meets a Jurassic Park T-Rex meets creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you did that on purpose. The album's title, the font that you have, reminds me of Lucasfilm logo.
Oh, there you go. It's absolutely on purpose. Because I do all the graphics and visual designing for Lordi.
Yes, yeah, I know.
I do all the paint, so absolutely. That for some reason it was in my mind. Like even the last thing I came up with was the title for the album. I was trying to come up with different, what could tie up the whole cinematic universe of this album together, and then I came up with the Screem Writers Guild title. But I already had in mind that I want to have that Lucasfilm kind of feel to it.
Yes.
I really, yeah. But you're the first one who spots that, or at least the first one who tells me that, because that's, so 10 points.
I'm waiting for my present. This.
Yes.
So
the prize is nothing. Congratulations.
Okay. That's awesome. I'm waiting to see how will you wrap this up for me.
Yeah, I will send you flowers. So, but don't waste your breath on it waiting, and it might never come. The flower bouquet. Unless,
of course, Lordi are planning to coming to the States for tour, and that's
we are planning, and that because of the COVID, I mean, we had at least 2 or 3 times like unannounced tours that were postponed and canceled because of COVID. It just kept going and kept going. And we actually have plans, and at the moment there's an offer on the table, and the negotiations with booking agencies are going at the moment. So I cannot really say more about that, but maybe we could even see this year.
Ooh.
Maybe. But let's see, because it's still, going overseas nowadays, it's harder than it was before. It wasn't easy before. Now let me put it this way, it hasn't come easier.
Yes. And I've heard that they are planning to increase the prices for visas for artists. So really, I have no idea where this is going, to be honest. We'll see. At least I will get my flowers most probably this year.
Yeah, probably. So, or maybe not. No.
I have to ask you now, because you were talking about creating the artwork and finishing the pictures and do this or that. How have you managed to release 7 albums before that and then have another album ready with all this? How did you do that?
I am a very productive person, and I'm a very creative personality. I create the whole time. I mean, I don't have any off days. I don't do such things as vacation or holiday. I don't do that. I work the whole time because I don't consider it work, because I love doing what I do. I mean, I love doing all this. I mean, it's not work for me. So the 7 album thing, it was easy, and it
easy?
was only easy as hell. And because listen, for me, on every Lordi album, the most problematic thing is that you can only put like 12 or 13 songs on an album. And for every 10 songs that you hear released on a Lordi album, it means that there's at least another 10 or 20 or 30, sometimes even 40 songs that are unreleased. Because I write all the time and I write a lot of stuff, and most of the songs don't make it to the album because it's just simple mathematics. For Deadache, I think I wrote 60 songs and only 10 made it to the album. So there's 50 songs that are still, unreleased from that time. And I make very, very completed demos. So actually, when you hear the Lordi demos and the final album recording, it's not that different because I already make all the arrangement decisions and everything pretty much on the demos. Mostly the sound is, of course, is better. They are played better, but I do everything. So for me, this was really, it's an easy because then I don't have to choose, and there's not that panic that what song will make it and what song doesn't, because I write so much, so the 7 album thing, the reason why we released 7 albums is because the record label did not let us release 10, because I wanted to do 10 albums and they said 7 should be enough. But the funny thing is that I had the ideas and the songs for those remaining 3 albums too. And we did those 7 albums, including mastering, mixing, recording, everything in 9 months. And we did it under the budget that was given to us. So
wow.
We could have easily done those 10 albums. And it was the best. I know for most of the musicians in the world, the COVID thing was the hardest time in their career. And it was but for me, it was the best because I could concentrate on creating the whole time. It was like pure heaven for me to do that because I loved every fucking day of that process, to just create new stuff. So for me, even though the 7 albums were released in November 21, and only 2 months later I got the call, January 22 from the management to start writing the new album, I said, thank you, because I usually, by the time the new album comes out, I'm already thinking about the next one. Usually I am like that. And because I cannot really turn off my creativity. It's always ongoing. It's like a water tap that cannot be closed. It's pouring out anyway, so it's coming out anyway.
So you include in this process writing the lyrics and coming up with the concepts or the visuals for the album, everything.
Yeah, everything, of course.
Oh,
yes.
But
I know that I'm kind of like maybe not unique, but I know that I'm in the minority of artists in the world. I know that, but for me it is natural. For me this is the way I am, and for me when I read interviews of my colleagues, no matter what genre, but any artist, and they say, we're struggling, so we have this song like we've been working on that song for 2 years and it's been on the drawer and we blah blah blah, and we tried and we recorded that and we worked on this album for 5 years. That is, for me, that is like a fucking fantasy. That is like, what the hell, are these guys just lazy or what the fuck is going on? Because I really cannot relate to that, because I want to do a lot all the time. I don't have any such things as writer's block. I don't understand the concept. If you tell me that write a song right now, I can start right now and in 1 hour you have 3 songs. I will have that, because maybe I don't really have that much self-criticism, and I'm so full of myself, and I'm so full of like self-confidence that I have because I know that I know my shit. I know that I am the best one in doing Lordi than anybody could ever be. I know what I'm doing, and I love what I'm doing. So I have no self-criticism, because I truly believe that there's not a single person in this world who could do my shit better than I am doing for this band. I mean, even if you would take my greatest idol, Gene Simmons, he wouldn't be better. He couldn't be better Lordi, and could not write better Lordi songs than I did. As well as I could not be as good Gene Simmons and write better Gene Simmons songs as he does. But that's how I feel, and I truly feel that, and without being cocky or somehow But I think that many artists, no matter what the genre, I think they are lacking that. They are somehow shy about admitting that they are good in something, and everybody is perfect as being themselves as they are, and you're the one who decides who you are and what you do and what is the best, what are the best decisions for your art if you're making art, So you're the king and you're the judge and jury in one, So that gives me the self-confidence that I have, and I don't really criticize myself that much, when I'm doing something, because I just let it flow. I just let it come out, whatever I'm making. And most of the times when I'm writing songs, on this bunch of demos that I have, I might, like I said, I might have 20 or 30 songs for an album. And then I never abandon the song before I play to others. I even though while writing it or recording it, I might feel like, okay, this is not really working out as well as I thought it would be, or I'm kind of disappointed in that. But many times it has been a situation where that particular song is hurrayed and praised by all the other members or everybody at the label or everything. Oh, this is a great song. And I would be like, oh, really? Because I thought that this is a throwaway. And this has happened quite a few times. So like even this time, there's the song on the album called Thing in the Cage, which I really was ready to, leave out from the album.
Mm-hmm.
And when the label wanted to have that as a single, I was like, really? Because for me, it is the worst song on the album. Like, really? And they were, yeah. And even my friends and people, around me were telling that, yeah, it has one of the best choruses on the album. Like, really? But then again, even though I wrote the song, who the fuck am I to say that it's not good or bad? I mean, why should my opinion count that much? If I made it, it's my song, it's my child. So why should I know better than everybody else? After the song is done. So, and this has happened quite a few times actually in the past. And at the same time, there are many of my favorite songs that have never been released. That were absolutely my favorite song of the whole bunch for any given album. And they was like, oh, this is my absolute favorite song. This is going to be the greatest. And everybody was like, doesn't really work. I don't hear it. Why is it so good?
Well, you have basically described what it means to be an artist and how an artist should receive criticism. So an artist should do whatever feels best for him. That's absolutely correct. And then it's up for the people to decide. When an artist starts thinking what the audience may like, this is when things may get longer than they should.
Exactly, because everything I write and everything I do, I don't do it for anyone else. I don't do it for the fans. And sometimes when I said this, some fans have been offended. What the hell?
No.
You're not doing it for the fans. No fucking way. I'm not doing it for the fans. I'm doing everything just to please myself and entertain myself. Because I am there's one person target audience for this band, and it's me. It's myself. I'm the biggest fan of my band myself. I'm doing, and I'm in the great position where I can decide what my favorite band does. And what kind of songs they are doing, and if anyone else likes it, it's a plus. That's the way I see it. And I'm a lucky bastard that now there seems to be a lot of people in the world, and I have to knock on wood, that are also being enjoyed by the stuff that I create.
Right. What is happening in end credits? There is some biographical stuff there. However,
yes. It is. It's a song. It's a song that is somewhat different from the rest of the Lordi catalog and of all these 18 albums. It's my autobiographical song, and I wrote it for my own funeral. Mm-hmm. And and I played it to the demo version. I played it to a few of my friends and some of the crew members, and they were getting all teary-eyed and why are you jinxing it? Are you dying? Is this the last Lord album? No, it's just a fucking song. But why are you saying? why are you doing a song for your own funeral? Well, if you want to do a song to your own funeral, you have to do it while you're still alive.
Yes.
Because after you're dead, you're kind of a little bit too late. So, and I told this to many people that Elton John has a song for his own funeral already on his debut album in the 70s. So, and I know that there's a lot of other artists who have done also, their own funeral songs. So nothing special there, nothing unique there, but it's just something that I felt like doing, to wrap up this whole album when the title End Credits somehow fits, suitable for this album. And then when they say that when you die, you see your life flash before your eyes like a film strip, So I started thinking that, okay, how would my films, if I would die right now, how would my film strip look like? So this song is about that. So it's mostly my childhood memories and everything leading up to the moment where I'm now, pretty much. And the reason why where I got the inspiration of writing this is like that we just released
the book, right?
The Law Diary book.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really like, because everything in the book was still clear in my head, because I just went through thinking about the whole my life and the band's life and the band's career and their story. So it was really easy to put that in the lyric. Too.
Yes.
So that's it. So yeah, it is my funeral song. It is, and I find it really funny. It makes me giggle, and when I know that when it comes out, I know that there will be few fans here and there who will be like, "Oh no,
this is the end of Lordi, right?"
This is the final song. It's the last song. Oh my god, it's not. Come on, it's just a fucking song.
So be honest with me,
because but it's so sad, and it's so sad and it's so serious. So and that's what makes it fun for me.
Be honest with me. Have you considered ending just before the encore, ending the set list with end credits?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope. Probably. I mean, Let's see the reaction when the album comes out and how the fans react. If they really, 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 really like that song, so we might think about adding that to the set, maybe. But we really haven't talked about that at all. I mean, I don't think it's a live song, really. I don't really think it's
in all fairness, it's not, and you have like a gazillion songs now, especially after 7+1 album to choose a set list from.
Yeah. But I think because we always have like the outro tape when we are, that's the last song, which usually is Would You Love a Monster Man or Hard Rock Hallelujah, depending on the tour.
Yeah.
And after that, we have an outro tape which lasts like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that. So this song probably could be, the outro tape. Probably.
Okay, be ready to see people crying, right? And I
gotta say that it's something that you don't, as an artist, you don't wish people, to leave the venue crying after your show.
No, absolutely.
Usually not.
Absolutely not. Yeah. What about the book? Is it correct that it has been only released in Finnish? Are there plans to have an English version?
Yes, plans and yeah, there are plans. I mean, already when we started writing that, and it was a long process, like 2 years, it is difficult as fucking fuck to find a publisher for an 836-page book. Because usually the music books or biographies or autobiographies are usually like 300 pages the most.
Correct.
But this is 836. So and now today's world, economy and the paper prices are so through the roof, it's almost impossible. And we've been trying to find that for a few years already while we were still writing, finding a publisher, because we have a goal, we have a plan to release it in English and in German, but if not in German, at least in English. But the problem is that so far we have had no luck of finding a publishing house that would actually take the goddamn risk, because it's triple the size of your average music book, and that, of course, it means that it costs money and there's more risk, financial risk for the publisher. So my plan, which is more like a fantasy or illusion or delusion, is to have it released in English by the end of the year.
Okay.
It's not based on anything. It's not based on reality. It's a fucking fantasy. But I hope it would happen.
Wishful thinking, then.
Yeah,
maybe.
Very much so.
Well, you can always have a Kickstarters to help you with this process, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really into any of those.
Okay, I have one.
I mean, even in the worst case scenario, the what I know is that okay, if we really cannot find any distributor or publishing house who would be willing to put it out and manufacture the English version of it, what we can do at least is that we would do it on our own and sell it on tours and our website. We could do it and take the risk ourselves, and just maybe do like made to order, kind of like print to order, basically.
Yes.
Of course, it would mean that a book, one copy would be way more expensive than your average book in a bookstore. But then again, I mean, we could do it like that. That is at least so in some form, at least let's say in a few years, at least we're gonna make it happen.
Okay, keep a copy for me on the side, please.
Okay.
I have one final question. I know you have scheduled interviews back to back. So next year we will be talking about the 19th album?
Not next year. 25.
Wow, I was not prepared to hear you call out a date, but
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, really. I mean, we have always released the album every 2 years. Every 2 years, and that is pretty much the time when my head will explode if I cannot get the new songs out. Because this year I've been like I've been torturing myself not to write any new music. Luckily, I've been so fucking busy this whole year now with shows and with the new costumes and masks and with the whole graphic work for this album. So I haven't really had time. But every once in a while, my mind creates. When I'm walking my dog or something, or driving the car, all of a sudden, some fucking melody starts playing in my head, and that's how it starts. I always write everything in my head, and that's how it starts. And I just, I am struggling to keep the fucking ideas away, because otherwise, this is too soon now.
Yeah.
But I know that next year, I'm probably already writing not next year. I'm sorry, I forgot that this is not 23 beginning. So probably by the end of this year, I would say like in the end of summer, beginning of the fall, I'm already having a lot of ideas for the next one, and probably we will be recording 24 and probably maybe even releasing 24 in the end. I don't know. But definitely on 25 there will be a next Lordi album. Absolutely there will be.
Thank you very much for your time. I hope to see Lordi with the new set list. I have no idea how many songs you will be including or how you will choose those. And have the best tour with SABATON in Europe.
Thank you. Take care.
You do.
Cheers.